Welcome back to another Wheel Wednesday. I honestly didn't think I'd have time for this voiceover. I had time for the art, but for this voiceover, I wasn't sure. But I'm here now. You can tell because the voice. Anyways, today's prompt was from Vito, 1520 on Discord. The prompt being, they had two, so I spin this double wheel. Here he comes. It's the gnome guy and the other little guy flying in World War I planes/biplanes. I can read words. Anyway, the gnome and other little guy he's referring to in this prompt is, well, they have appeared in multiple of my drawings previously. And there's kind of a story going on with them where the little guy, who is not the gnome, is lost in this different world and the gnome is helping him out. And, yep. They are now flying a biplane. Now the prompt said planes/biplanes, and I had them in a single plane, so I have failed the prompt. I know, terrible. Might as well not even post it, because I failed so terribly with only having one plane. Anyways, time to get on talking about the art that I did do that is not two planes. I mean, like, the plane itself, I normally don't do anything mechanical or, like, plastic/metal smooth, which is what most of the plane is, other than the seats, really. So, I don't know how much I like it. I think it turned out okay. But while doing it, I was not happy with it for a very long time. Especially with the wing part, which probably could have been helped if I didn't cut off so much of the plane, so I could see the whole thing at the same time. But since I kind of just had a weird triangle-shaped thing for the front wings, I tried to do this weird curvature thing as if the camera had a fisheye-ish lens, but it doesn't really work, especially because the tail fins aren't getting distorted at all. So trying to distort the front wing makes no sense, and it just makes it look bad. So I eventually end up changing it, but I probably should have just done it as a straight line from the beginning and saved myself a whole lot of time. Which is why I kind of did the seats right away, because I was not really sure how to make the outside red part look nice. I just kind of went with what I felt was right. But I don't know what is right, since again, not doing too much metal/plastics. Or at least not in large chunks. Like, I've done plenty of metal in tiny little bits, like beads and necklaces, chains, and sometimes armor. Which I'd say is different enough from an airplane? Maybe not. And then here I get to whatever is below the plane. Well, I started. Which I wasn't sure if I wanted to do over an ocean or a regular landscape. I end up doing regular landscape, but ocean could have worked perfectly fine too. I also do not do the characters until, like, the very end of this, which while I was doing it, I was thinking to myself that I should have done it not the other way. I'm not doing characters then plane first, but doing characters way earlier, just because working on this plane for so long, kinda boring when you don't usually do planes, especially from this angle where it's not the entire plane. If I did do an entire plane, I probably enjoy it more. I just think going from doing all organic-y stuff into drawing a plane for 40-ish minutes is not that fun. Or at least, I mean, it could be. It definitely could be. I don't know. I definitely think it's the angle I chose. And yep, doing lots of clouds. Even though I don't know. Let's just say that they're low floating clouds. Because I'm not sure if a biplane with no actual cockpit or oxygen could get up this high. But you never know. Maybe the world they're in has more oxygen up high. Who knows? I mean, it's supposed to be me, but I can't answer that. The front wing thing, I tried to add more detail to because it being just a weird solid block of red just looked so bad to me. Well, it was honestly probably just because of the weird angle that I put it at that is wrong, which is what I'm trying to fix currently in the drawing. Because it does not line up with those seats at all. I mean, maybe you could argue that like the wind is moving it. But, you know, I don't think that wind should be jiggling a wing of a plane to such a degree. But again, I think that's another issue with the angle I chose, where it's hard to tell that it's even a plane. Like, I can tell, because obviously that was my intention, so I'm already coming in with the preconceived notion that this is an airplane. But other people without that might not know. And then here I'm trying to make it more biplane-esque, just by trying to add in that extra wing, even though the reference I was looking at for biplanes, you would not really be able to see that extra wing from this angle, but gotta make sure it actually is a biplane. And here I'm just adding, I don't remember if it was a color dodge or overlay layer, but I added one of them for light. And I'm finally getting to the characters 7 minutes into this 10-minute video, which is like, I don't know, 40-ish minutes in probably. I'm not doing the math. And I decided to have the little guy driving the plane, and then the gnome in the, I didn't give it controls, so I guess the passenger seat is where the gnome would be. Even though I don't think it would be the co-pilot seat normally, or a gunner seat. But you know, whatever. Passenger seat now. Little guy definitely knows how to fly a plane. Look, he's got the goggles on and a leather cap. That's all you need, right? Eventually he gets a seatbelt too, which is, you know, important for aerial maneuvers. I mean, at this point, I don't know what to talk about the character. I did the reflection of the airplane in the goggles of the little guy, or at least what I think he would be seeing, that being the top wing. I have the gnome holding his hat, because no way that thing's holding itself on his head by itself in flight conditions. Or at least with an open cockpit. I don't know. I mean, it really is just characters now, and then I end up adding lighting on I believe color dodge layer. It might be overlay. I don't remember. No, it's definitely color dodge. It's gotta be color dodge. But I use a color dodge layer to add sunlight and sun rays, because I just think it needed that. Something shows that they're up high, because that's how sun rays work, right? More of them appear when you get up high, even though sun rays appear when sun is going through clouds. Whatever. It's just a nice effect or whatever. And then I put wind trails going off of the airplane, which again, probably not realistic, but whatever. It's art. Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, Thank you for listening and watching. Bye, bye, bye. I'm out of time. Bye, bye.